So, topic is motion and a little bit of player development, but I think what I'd like to rename it is positionless basketball. That's what we're trying to go for. So what I thought would be valuable is just going through a couple NBA clips. I mean, with the motion, this isn't motion. Like what I'm going to show isn't motion offense, in my opinion. It's really set action. So like, I think the first clip is the Spurs running something out of their pattern offense. So this is a set they run, but everybody calls it motion. But it's really a false motion. So anyway, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach through video. We'll show a little bit of player development, and then from there we'll get into the motion stuff. It's going to be, I'm just going to build my way up to it. So to start, I just want you to be aware of three principles when we talk about motion offense. I think spacing is the number one thing. You need to space the floor. Specifically, we usually say 12 to 15 feet apart. But also, in terms of when we penetrate, we got to get to our spots. And we actually call it string spacing. So we'll get into that when we teach motion. When we go through it, you'll also see quality of movement. So in terms of how you cut, how you screen. And then the third thing you'll see is, you won't see it, but we'll teach it, is communication. Okay? So to play this through, okay, don't worry about the text. Okay, so one of the principles that I didn't develop it, I just kind of stole it from people. George Karl and Rick Majerus. Rick Majerus would talk about catch and observe. So if you catch it, you allow the action to develop. You hold it for 2 seconds. That was usually his rule. So if we run this back with Spurs, they're running their pattern motion. When he catches it, he's letting the action develop. We get into UCLA, we get into wing pick and roll. Okay, so from here, we dump it down and we draw two. So when we draw two, essentially what it becomes is a 4 versus 3. So what we call for that is we say catch and go, and that's a George Karl term. And really what that means is before I get it, I'm anticipating. I'm either driving it, shooting it, or making the next pass. So I just kind of combined it. If we have an advantage, we're 4 versus 3, like we're moving it. We're not holding the ball. So we've drawn two, makes the extra pass, no one closes out, catch and shoot. This is just pace. Like this is more about like the quality of the offense, how they get into it, cutting the score. So in regards to spacing, if I cut hard, I take my defender with me, and now I have more space. A little bit of timing. So in the vision, again, this is set action. This is just some quality stuff. Now talking about spacing, Olynyk cuts through on like what we call a Laker cut. Jerebko fills. So we'd show our players when we run this back, as he's filling, he's creating a long closeout. If he stays home on this entry and stays right here, his man can guard too. He can dig in, at the same time recover. So he fills, and he creates a long closeout. Essentially, we go back to that term, catch and go. He was digging on the post, and he takes this tough contested layup at the rim. I mean, we backed it up. He can probably get a Olynyk circling underneath, but just to see the principles. Okay, again, 12 to 15 feet. Here you see pick and roll, kind of what Coach Kirby was talking about. We talk about a shake or a fill behind. Everybody spaces. Everybody's moving on a string. Quality, sprinting into the screen, and then we get into catch and go. So he sprints into the screen. He has separation. Curry is able to turn the corner and get downhill. Curry draws two, so it's 4 versus 3. Draymond short rolls. Lowest guy rotates. Again, 4 versus 3. We're catching and going. We're anticipating. This is like extreme ball movement. So again, talking some of the terminology, like we'll say like this is a one more when we make a one more. So we actually get a switch, we throw it inside. Again, we like draw 3. We're just extra pass, catch and go. Okay, so there's really those 3 principles of spacing, quality of movement, and communication. And then I think you have like some hidden principles like catch and go versus catch and observe, or just really developing basketball vocabulary so that your players understand different actions and then sequences with a bunch of different actions working together, okay? So that's what I got. So we'll get into some player development. Adam will just pull this thing off. Yeah, okay. So what I need, I coached our 15U boys provincial team, and it was kind of good for me because I coached high school for like 7 years, and a big thing for me was trying to teach the game the right way, the best I could. So going back and coaching provincial team after doing like, I guess it's my 4th year or 5th year of university basketball, it kind of opened my eyes to things that just kind of need to be taught and things I just messed up on. I wasn't teaching every day, and I didn't feel we were really as prepared as we probably should have been. So anyway, we talked, one of the biggest things was handling pressure. So what I need is I need a couple girls to stand up. We'll go with 2 out of bounds with the ball. And then I need 2 people here. And I need, we can actually do 2 out of bounds, 2 underneath as well. So inbound, you guys need a ball too. You're out of bounds here. And then same thing, so the same kind of thing. So we need 2 out of bounds and then 2 hugging the sideline. 2 more, sorry girls, yeah, 2 more. Yeah. Okay, and you guys are hugging that sideline. You have the ball, taking the ball out of bounds. And then, Michaela, yeah, you're guarding the ball, your hands. So you guys are matched up, sorry, you're right here. Brianna, you're right here. You guys can be higher, okay? So what we do when we're doing this, and I've been doing this just through some like youth workouts, but I think you could do this with your team. I mean, people do one-on-one zigzag all the time. This is a little bit different. So what we have is we have big-time ball pressure, hands and feet, okay? Teaching it, like this is something that our kids didn't know on the 15 provincial team. Like what's a defensive stance? So we talk about like chicken wing. I have my thumb down to deflect, so that's your stance right now, okay? We're on the ball, okay? Hands and feet. As she has hands and feet, what do you think you're gonna work on? What do you have to do to make this pass, you think? Before she even gets open. Yeah, so you probably have to make a what? Yeah, pass fake and then, okay. So, again, talking about pressure. So another thing, this is just a drill that takes care of so many things, in my opinion. When we do it, we talk about, so you're chicken wing, deny, you can deny me, sure. We say surrender, we put both of our hands in the air, okay? We take them away from the ball, so you come with me. Take her away. There's a little bit of hand-to-hand combat as I swim move, and I step over top. And now, as she passes it, I meet the pass, I in-turn, and I get vision, okay? From here, we then play full court one-on-one. But those details that we just broke down, those are real big things that, again, our kids had a lot of trouble in the summertime with. So what we'll do is, you know what? To make this even work better, I'll get 2 more girls. Go down there. Sorry, 2 more girls down there. And then 2 more girls here. Okay? So then we can just rotate this through. Okay? We got it? Perfect. Okay. So what we say for safety is we split the court in 2, right down the middle, and you got to stay on your side. You can't cross over half for safety. Okay? We got it? Yes? Both sides ready? Let's go. Deny. In-turn, face up. Now you move up. Emily, you up. Okay, I'll stop it. Okay, so, I mean, and Kirby's probably taught me this best in terms of teaching the game. We want to try to let them play before we kind of give any type of information. I usually say like 6 reps to 1 in terms of how much, like you want them to play 6 reps and then maybe give them some information. So we're on the ball, and I was just going to ask you guys, when we catch this thing, so we catch it, I'm sorry, what's your name? I know, Vanessa. What were you seeing, and it was happening probably 50% of the time, that the girls were doing, not doing what I said in terms of this first part? Does anybody know? Yeah, vision, right. So a lot of the girls were catching it, and they dribble head down without any vision. So absolutely, okay. So that's kind of the basic of how we do it. The other thing we'd probably talk about is when we come down, and this is why I'm kind of against the zigzag drill for youth, is that I don't think the players understand that, like if I have the ball and Vanessa, you guard me, like if I have to do the zigzag drill up the floor, like this is no good. And I think a lot of players are almost confused. Like that's how you beat pressure. So the other thing I might point out is that when we go, we want to change speed. So when we go through, either up the sideline or through the logo, we say with the Westman, we want to go as hard as we can, maybe stop and go, and then we want to try to get hip to hip and look to cut angles and make a play at the rim. Okay? So what we'll add to this now is, do we have enough girls? Maybe, can you 2 girls get up? And can you guys play at the elbow? Okay? I don't know if we'll have enough. It should work out, let's see. Okay, so we get the ball in, we're going to throw it in, you got to get open. So first of all, you got to surrender. Freeze, back it up. So surrender, chest to chest, swim move over top, step over top, face up and get vision. Perfect. So now what's going to happen is you guys are matched up at the elbow, okay? You got to come down, okay? And you got to throw an elbow entry. Freeze. So you got to throw an elbow entry, the same idea. We're in chicken wing. We're looking to extend this catch as best as possible, maybe get a piece in the ball. Okay, we got it? Let's just run it on this side. Let's go back here. Okay, let's run it all the way through. A little bit of pressure for Vanessa. Here we go. Surrender. Oh, let's run that back. Here we go. It's all right, you're good. Pass fake. Here we go, you got it. Get vision. Good. Okay, hey, run that back. Okay. Are we okay? Hit in the face? Okay. So, hands ready. Remember, you're doing the same thing back here. You're trying to get open. You got to meet the pass. Hands ready. Now, defensively, if you get beat, what do you have to do? You have to cut her off where? To the sideline, but specifically where? Like, point to me where you're going to cut her off. Yeah, but look, and this is good. So Vanessa's here, and Vanessa's beating me. So if I run to her body, I'm never, ever going to get in front. So you have to run where? You have to pick a point ahead of the ball, and you got to stop her here. And at the same time, continue to apply pressure, right? Like harass and contain. Maintain that, you know. Okay, let's do it again, right here. Okay? So you got to get ahead, and you got to apply some pressure. Here we go. Good. Pressure, 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 pressure. Stay up, stay up, stay up, stay up. And then we can cut and we can play. You cut through, right? And we play through. Okay? Sweet. Now, the one thing, and I just want to keep moving while here. The one thing we talked a lot about, like in the camps and everything, like Vanessa's guarding me. Brianna, you stay at the elbow. Is like change of speed to make an entry. So we found a lot of our players, Vanessa's guarding me, we would, like I was saying, would jog the ball over. You're pressuring the crap out of me, and I'm trying to make this pass. So the one thing we talk a lot about in terms of creating space to throw this entry pass is, driving as hard as we can, stopping, and now I've got some space to throw that ball in. Okay? Okay, so now what we'll add to this, okay, we'll run this back again. Essentially what I'm doing, I mean, if you listen to Mike McKay, can we get elbows again? Mike McKay always talks about loading and deloading the drill. Right now, we're loading the drill. We're adding variables. So another thing we'd add to it, especially for when we were playing at a horns or pistol action. If you don't know what that is, you can ask me at the end. But we play out of the elbow, so we get this catch, and we'd go, and you change the speed. Go, 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 go. Stop, and then throw it in. Good. Freeze. If they really were fighting this, well, here. And the other thing I'll say, where does she need to be when she's making this entry pass? Either wing entry or elbow entry. Where should she be? Yeah, I mean, I say lane line, but yeah, absolutely. Got to be in here. I mean, if you're outside and you're hugging this baseline, like all these angles get tougher. So we'd probably want it in here. I mean, maybe then she can maybe dribble over for a better angle. That makes sense. But here's what I'm saying. If this is going to be denied, we back this out. And so our counter in the summertime was, if this is denied, wing entry or elbow, we're just going to step up instead of pick and roll. So she's coming, she's denied, you see this, you step up instead of pick and roll, and then we play. And sometimes we'd say, because like they're kids, so they only really know how to switch, so we'd say no switching. And then you got to figure out, you're going to go under, over, you're going to show, you're going to trap, you're going to be in the gap, whatever. So again, that's something, again, we load to it as another read. Good, so let's do this. Yeah, so you guys can come off. I appreciate it. Maybe clap it out for the girls. Thanks. Yeah, hey, that was good. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, I mean, you guys didn't get a lot of reps, but that's all right. Hey, so now what I need is Abby and Emily for sure. Ball here. Okay, I need you guys matched up, and then I need 2 more girls to come out here. Okay. I'm using this really for a lot of our small group workout stuff. And essentially I got it from a couple of my guys, Charlie Torres and Shay Frazee from California. And they use it, they work out NBA guys, and this is a way, I guess they try to get some type of game-like shots through 2-on-0. But what I've made it is I've done now 2-on-2 with a coach facilitating. So now we're starting to get into that motion offense. So what's going to happen is, and this is almost a kind of a progression to what we were just doing, Abby's on the ball, and she's pressuring Emily, okay? Yeah, perfect. You're in wing deny, sure. And then, Emily, you're going to come down, and you're going to make whatever entry you want. So you come down, like you could make a wing entry, sure. What could you do out of this? She could basket cut. She could go screen away. What else could you do? You could come guard get, or this is kind of like our pistol action, right? What else? Even before the wing entry, sorry. What else? Yeah, you could go that way and do this way. Yeah, sure. Yeah, pass it that side and work on this side, sure. What else, though, other than the wing entry? What's that? Yeah, I mean, you could just go if she's pressuring you and get to the rim, sure. I'm thinking like dribble handoff, right? Or call me for a high ball with a fist, and then we play out of it, you know? Okay, so anyway, with our motion offense, the one thing we talk about when we play cutthroat today is that for motion, we kind of say, like make or miss, on a miss, we don't care what position you play, you got to get it and go. And then what happens is the guard's going to kind of come down and decide however they want to get into it. So they could, pistol action, handoff, go through the trail and screen away, pass it, maybe receive a flare screen, So what's going to happen is there's a ton of ball pressure right now. You're going to make your entry, okay? And then we're going to play live 2-on-2 out of this. So what are you going to do? Handoff? Sure. Maybe ball screen? Good. Wrong team. Hey, maybe color up. So can you go? Oh, you guys are, sure. Well, or just stay one team. You guys are one team. Okay, either way. Okay, so we'll run that through again. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, and the other thing, so we talked about spacing, quality of movement, and what was the third thing I talked about on video? Coaches, quizzing you guys. Communication, absolutely. So she can probably, how do we communicate? Yeah. So she did two things. So how did she communicate? I'm asking the coaches. How did she communicate when you didn't hear it, but she said something verbally? What else did she do? Yeah. So usually when we see a closed fist, that's automatically a screen, whether that's on the ball or off the ball. And the other thing you could do, so verbally, you could say the action. What else could you say? Yeah. What player, though? You could say maybe a name. So say the name, what the action is. And we're not too worried if like people are cheating our stuff and cheating the action. It's more like we just all want to be on the same page in terms of when we run it. So anyway, let's go through a couple reps here, okay? Let's go. Yeah, what do you got? Hand off. Hey, ball screen, ball screen, ball screen. Good. Let's flip it over. Let's go. Hey, we got to get quick. Yeah, offense and defense. Okay. Hey, I mean, if two other girls want to get in for this, that would be perfect. We can get 6. You know what I'm saying? Like 2 more girls. Another ball. Here we go. Let's play. What are we doing, Abby? Pistol. Ball screen, ball screen. Okay, fill behind. Good. Hey, reverse. Hey, right here. Hey, I'm sending you a down screen. Wait. Good. Use it. Good. That's all right. Other way. Let's get to. So we'll go offense. I don't know. Offense, defense, out maybe. Out. We'll rotate back. Hey, we got it. Let's go. Let's get reps. Come on. Let's play. Anyway. Yeah. Either way. Oh, nice. Good. Yeah. Good. Dribble handoffs. She cheated it. Back cut. Sweet. All right. Let's get. So yeah, you girls. Offense, defense. Out, right? Let's go. Here we go. What are you doing? Hand off. Hey, down screen. Wait. Use it. Yeah, throw it in. Good. Right idea. Here we go. Switch it. Here we go. Let's go. Back cut. Posting. Cut. Oh, okay. Here we go. Sweet. Here we go. Rotate. Okay. So something that I'll add, like I said, basketball vocab. I think a lot of kids just really understand how to cut and how to, screen away. So the one thing by me being out here, I can start to introduce them into new actions. So they make wing entry. Let's just walk this through, And then this is kind of what I was talking about, just natural sequences just start forming. She goes wing entry, freeze. I'm like, wait, flare screen. You're going to go this way. So you take one step, you'll sprint off this thing, right? If it's a skip, we say with our players, automatic, you're going to follow this thing and get into pick and roll. The other actions that players will start to get is, I reverse it to you, I set a down screen, you're going up. Say you, on a straight cut, you catch lane line extended, right here, and you get through. And then I go elbow, and now we got to play. Oh, you don't get it. Hand off, okay, posting, I like it. And then we could probably get into this. So she posts, she goes, she cuts. And let's say you cut and you bury her underneath. Yeah, you're deep seal, freeze. So for us, we'd start to talk about our post principles. So I'd never want, for me, I'd never want to cut through here because I bring my defender. What we'd say is, and we do this with the Westman too, if I cut, I got to relocate and give her enough space. So if, for whatever reason, like you saw in video, when we switched the mismatch, they digged. I see back of the head, so I'm relocating. The other thing we could talk about, and again, we'll probably get into this with the cutthroat stuff. If we go back up top, so Abby's here, and I dribble at her like this, I'm on north-south, and I'm dribbling here. We say string spacing, so you guys space away, push, kind of pull action. The other thing we'll say is like if I attack, what's your name? Say it again. Ira. Maybe as I attack, you set a flare screen, right? Abby, you sprint off that thing, you know. The other thing we see a lot, again, string spacing. This is like a Brian McCormick term that I kind of stole it from him. If I drive at middle, sometimes what will happen is if she's, let's say, stunting at the ball, so you stunt on my penetration, we'll like back cut, you know. So maybe she'll space and we'll back cut on that side. So anyway, I'm just a big proponent on trying to figure out a way to teach through play so it's game-like. And we can teach so many different principles. And then when we go to the game, we're like, just go play. They actually know what that is. Like, it's an educated freedom, not just a freedom and they're just going to go play scrap ball. So anyway, that's kind of like an introduction into it. I mean, the other thing, sorry, I'll give you one more thing that we'll do. And this is more with the older guys, like the university players. But I think we did this with the girls. Okay. The one thing is, we talk about, we back this up. We'd start like giving like other variables in terms of like a clock. So understanding what the 24 clock is. Again, another thing our kids had a hard time with, just understanding like time and score. So this is another way we try to get it in there. So like 8 seconds. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Our thing is we want to get into high pick and roll. So you're coming down, you know, and I'm like 8. As soon as I hear 8, that means I'm going to come set you one, and we're playing, you know, and you're playing out of a pick and roll. If you draw 2, maybe you kick it, right? We back this up. If she's coming down, and let's say we're like mid-possession. I mean, you cut and you pass in the pinch post or the elbow, and you cut through either way, right? Yeah, and then let's say you fill out, and I pass it to you, and like I go to screen away, and I start going like 5, 4. Like that's like clear out, isolation. You got to make a play. So just trying to put our players in those situations. The other thing I did, we started to talk about pick and roll counters. So it's tougher because there's no one guarding me, but we try to tell our players to visualize it. Like we watch a bunch of video. They've also experienced it, so they actually know what it is. I wouldn't do it with like young kids and say, yo, you're getting trapped right now, or they're downing or icing this thing. That's not how it works. They already know what this is. So when I come set it, this time as I'm coming to set it, I'm saying under, 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 under. And as soon as I say we talk about pick and roll D, we back this up. On ball D should be doing what as I'm yelling under? Well, sagging, but if you sag and look, you go under, she can go whichever way she wants to go. So you want to make her go which way? Yeah, you want to make her use it. So as soon as I say under, 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 you got to jump into the ball and you got to make her use it. Now you get under, not over, you get under, right? So, that's all right. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So you make her use it, now freeze. Then we talk about maybe some of our counters to this. So we say the first thing against under, we want to try to get downhill and get all the way to the rim and then draw 2. If we can't do that, then we'll say you go under, okay, and you don't get anything, you'll say what? Did we do this? You'll say rescreen, rescreen, rescreen. I'll flip it, and we'll play. The other one we'll do a bunch, especially for kids, just getting them used to it, like trapping the screen. So one of the things we'll look for is if you hear trap, you're going to get into the ball, freeze, okay? I mean, and there's no other big making you do it, but like retreat dribble, so you want to try to come off tight, and then retreat dribble. So you come off, so she goes over, retreat dribble, bang, back off, perfect, good, stop, hold the ball right there, go back there. So we'd say, for us, we look to retreat dribble, then I would, what we call a short roll, like you kind of saw with Draymond on the video, but it was a wing pick and roll. I short roll in here, you're going to make this pass, now relocate, go, 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 go. I mean, you could cut, but you relocate or cut, yeah, either way, yeah, you're good. So we do that. Maybe if we're in like wing pick and roll, again, I'm just giving you all the counters. If she's, you know, if I say down or ice just means like not using the screen, so we back this up. And you get into the ball and say, I'm saying screen right, you're saying down, I'm here, right? And then we'd say, we back this up. I mean, there's no big, so you might be able to get all the way to the rim, but a couple counters that we'll look at, I might change, so you're into the ball and making her go on the baseline side. Yeah, that's right, and then the big would be, just for the coaches, the big's in here. I could then maybe change the angle of the screen, And you go, Abby. No, you go, use the screen, because she's not letting you go. And then you can go here, you can, what we say a snake, you can snake it back to the middle. You could we go back here, and we drive it, and then we, hold up, and the big stops you, the big stops you, and you get in front, you get back in front. So, Abby, you're here. Emily gets back in front. You throw it back to me as another counter, throw it back, dribble handoff, So, anyway, there's just a bunch of stuff you can do, and to try to make a game like where, if you can't play in a game, you can try to figure out, just try it like contest, like game-like contests and all that kind of stuff. So, anyway, let's get into cutthroat. So, let's go over that time. What we'll do is, let's go threes. Okay? Can we go threes? So we'll go match up here, 2 wings, and we're 3-on-3. And we have the other players out of bounds. Yeah, sorry, no, you're here. My fault. I messed this up. You're here. You guys are here. I need 3 more players. 1 more. Yes. Okay, we're out of bounds. Okay, so teaching through cutthroat, like this is like one of my favorite ways to teach, whether it be offense or defense. So I would give them a couple rules for what spacing. So the first one I gave you guys was spacing. Like that's a core foundational principle. So at any time, if you guys are just kind of floating and staying tight, this is bad spacing, right? If he drives it with her right hand at you, and you got to space. If you stay, but that, like in the beginning, I would just say if they're real tight and you're not maintaining 12 to 15 feet, that's a turnover. So the other thing we talk about as another rule, so 12 to 15 feet spacing, we come down and we make a pass, a wing entry, okay? And you jog through 50%, like that's poor quality. Because what happens is if she jogs, like they talk about double gaps, like she's cutting through and kind of creating a double gap, she stays here. You drive on top of this thing, there's no room to go. So I got to cut hard and to the rim, right, to score, and then out to create space for her to go, okay? Or the other thing is, you go wing entry, and let's say you jog into this thing, you don't sprint. Or the other thing that happens a lot, especially with kids, we back this up. You sprint into this thing, but as you're halfway, I just run and I don't wait on it, right? And then there's an illegal screen, that's another thing in terms of quality. And then the last thing is we talk about communication, but to me that's kind of like a hidden principle because the kids kind of figure out eventually, if we don't communicate, this is going to be poor quality and poor execution. So we just talked about communication. What's communication? Well, yeah, so we said, Emily, what? We talked about it. So we said verbal. What's verbal? Names. Where to go, what type of action. What's the third thing? What did I do in 2-on-2 when I was kind of facilitating? I would say, with a W, wait, telling her to stop and make sure she uses the screen and puts pressure on the defense. Okay, so we'll just really talk about those 3 as we play. What happens in cutthroat is, if I whistle, it's a turnover, okay? It will go defense to offense. So you guys say you turn it over, I blow the whistle, you throw it out to me, okay? Abby's team now becomes offense. You guys are now out. So Abby's team's got to flip over. So Emily, you're going out of bounds. You guys are sprinting on the floor and matching up, and then we throw it in. And the one thing that I kind of changed when I was coaching high school is we'd always catch it in the front court. I really try to put a lot of pressure on the guard to make sure he catches it in the back court, because in a game, you're going to see this type of pressure, just like we saw in the one-on-one full court drill. Okay, we got it? So we're going to play. You guys got any questions? Or? Yeah, blowing the whistle means turnover. In terms of how we'd score it, we usually just say everything's 1, and then we kind of put some pressure on the offense to make sure they're getting the ball in the paint. and not settling for, jumpers. So anyway, let's play this through, okay? We got it? Okay. What? Yeah, so on the turnover, you got to outlet it to me, and then relocate, and then you're good. Okay, let's go. Good. So make it, take it. We'd throw it out. We'd come get it. You guys got, my fault, you guys got scored on, so you're out. New team comes in. Okay, ready? Let's go. No communication. I caught it early. Let's go. Rotate, let's go. Quick, get the spots. Let's go. Who's got the ball? Who's got it? Who's in? Match, let's go. Buckets, let's go. Outlet, let's go. Quick. Who's got it? Oh, hold on. Is that right? Hold on. Make it, take it. Yeah, my fault. Here we go. Yeah, so Abby's off, right? Okay, let's go. Let's play. Okay, let's go. Come on, let's go. Outlet. Yeah, throw it to me. Let's go. Who's here? Let's go. Match. Defense can talk too. Here we go. Nothing. Turnover. Let's go. Yep. Let's go. Match. Pressure, Brianna. Pressure. Good. Okay, so freeze. So this is good. The one thing, so usually what I do is I'd ref it really tight. So the smallest details in terms of spacing, in terms of communication. But it seems like it's all right. We're just having a hard time with passing and catching, right? So that's fine. And the second thing is, what else? It's not even just passing and catching, but defensively. What does it look like? What needs to be better? Talking, communication, but what else? What's the biggest thing? What's happening right off the top? What's that? Yeah, getting beat. So if we get beat, like at a transition, we get beat, and we create a 3-on-2, we're not running offense anymore. We're playing catch and go, advance. So defensively, we got to keep them in front like there's a fine line, right? Like harassing somebody and really pressuring, but at the same time, giving that cushion. So you got to be in between. If you're over pressuring, you're going to get beat, right? Let's go. Let's rotate. Here we go. Yep. Good. Handoff, sure. Slipped. Yeah. Sweet take. Good. Let's go. A little bit of a reject. Let's go. Ball's coming in. Let's go. Got a match. Got to talk defense. Let's go. So here's a good question. Okay, so we back this up. Not Deidre. Lauren. Good. Here we go. So you're on the way. So you're here. We say rewind. Let's run that back. So what happened was so can we go all the way back to the handoff? We were going to use a handoff, and then you faked it, right? And you tried to turn the corner, so you got down here. So this kind of goes back to that principle. Catch and go versus catch and observe, except it's with a live dribble. You didn't have anything, right? They were standing, and I could have got you guys unmoving. Maybe you could have filled behind, sure. You could have back cut or spaced or even. So what I'm saying is, like, you don't have an advantage. So what do they have to do now? They have to do something. You guys can't stand, right? Okay, the one thing that's really cool, I think that the girls are doing a really good job of, if we back this up, I mean, we've seen a couple dribble handoffs, but the other rule that we'll say is, like, you can't run the action, the same entry 2 times in a row. Because the one thing, like, when we were initially just doing some just basics with the Westman, I think every time we would do it, our guards would either get into a handoff or reverse and screen away. They were doing the same action every time. So in terms of developing a basketball vocabulary, another rule we'd put in saying, hey, you can't run the same action twice. So that's just something to think about. Okay, so the other thing that we'll do a lot of, so we'd want to get to 4-on-4 and 5-on-5. But the other thing we'd like to do is if we have the ball here, okay? Even before I get to this. So the one thing in terms of just teaching the game, I said to the girls, it's different because like right now I'm more like presenting. I'm not teaching the game. I mean, I'm probably in between. But if I was teaching the game, trying to teach motion, I'd probably do more trying to get them to talk about it. So like if it wasn't very good, I would say like, Abby, get your team here. You got to get with your team. So get with your team, just so the coaches can see. Emily, you get with your team. Get with your team. You girls get with your team, okay? And what we'd say, and we actually use this a ton with the provincial team, we'd call these like team timeouts because it felt like sometimes the coaches are saying the same message and maybe not thinking about doing it or communicating it differently. So we'd say, you know what? Let the players talk about it. And I'd say we were probably much more successful when we let the players talk about it and figure it out versus me stopping and saying, yo, that cut has to be better, or you have to wait in that screen, or the spacing. So by playing cutthroat, there's two things going on in my opinion. You have peer pressure. So by me blowing the whistle, I'm creating peer pressure in practice, which I think is good. People have to start to learn how to lead and communicate. Because if I'm constantly blowing the whistle and there's poor spacing and they're not saying anything to a teammate, they're just going to lose. So they're going to figure out eventually that, hey, we have to come over here and talk to our teammate. And then the second thing is communicating the right way. Like we had players when we were doing this because of the peer pressure and they were losing, starting to yell at players and put players down and not communicating. It wasn't effective. So we had to coach them on how they were as leaders and communicators. So here's another mistake I think I made trying to teach players how to play. I think we spent and this isn't just the 15 provincial team, this is like back to my high school days. We played way too much half court. Like we rep this just in the half court. I think you can play cutthroat also in the full court, okay? Because now there's an aspect of, we talk about catch and go, like when we come down, if we have a 5-on-4 or a 4-on-3, we're not stopping here and playing catch and observe and trying to run action. We're making the next pass and moving that thing. So what we do now, okay, is let's say we play this possession. Okay, I don't care how the possession goes. We run it all the way through. Okay, so we run this thing all the way through. I'm not going to stop it. Bad spacing, poor communication, quality, whatever it is, I won't stop it. What happens is you guys are going to transition there and back. Okay, but anytime you hear the whistle, so let's say we're going, so we're playing, you guys are going. Yes, dribble push. Ball screen, sweet. Look, it's poor spacing on the top. Good. And we play this through. Okay. Freeze. Okay, so what we'd say, again, this is just going back to trying to play positionless, is we'd say the closest, quickest person is going to take it out of bounds on the opposing team. So the closest, quickest, who's that? Is it you? So you were on the other team? So you take it out, and then the other thing we have to do is we got to make sure everybody has to do this. Ball goes through. We got to make sure to clear the baseline and get outside the lane line so we can throw that long pass. Now, right now, it's fine. We'd have the outlets, pressure, or we could say, you guys have to just sprint back. Okay, and right now on a make, we'll say, you guys got to sprint back. Okay, maybe pick them up at half as a pickup point. Okay, so the ball gets thrown in. Okay, we're coming down. Okay, so freeze. This is what I'm saying. So now we've added this transition component. Did you see the lanes there? I mean, I put you guys in the spot, but did you see the lanes they were running? Both girls were running right through the middle with the ball. So we'd probably talk about spacing. So we'd say, what we said, again, going back to the provincial team, was you have to make sure that lanes are filled. We won't really assign a rim runner. Sometimes we had the guard. We'd say, if I go wide and I see there's poor spacing, kind of like what the Utah Jazz did with Salone. I think Kentucky did it a couple years ago when they had Anthony Davis. they would run wide and then circle this guy in, right, into the post. But ultimately, because we're 4 out, 1 in when we play motion, we're going to have these spots filled. So we want to get to these spots. I don't care if you go wide, but if you go to the rim, you better be saying that I got rim so the other person knows I got to hug the sideline and get out wide. Okay, let's run that back. Seems like time's short. Okay, and it's got to be at pace. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go at pace. We got to play now. Hand off. Duck in. Sure. Hey, grab it. Here. Hey, play from the top. Hey, that was good action. We had a duck in on the weak side. Hey, that was good. Hey, right here. Ball here. Abby, go ahead. Let's go. Play. Okay, good. So let's do this. Let's just pretend that we just played a half-court possession, and let's take the ball out of bounds. Okay? Defense is back. We've thrown the ball in. And again, kind of like that first or the second clip with the Celtics, I can't remember if it was Marcus Smart, but he's playing at pace. So he was changing sides of the floor or whatever. You guys are running out wide, sure. So what could happen is we could come down right out of transition, and I could say, spacing. So we throw it, you'd have to throw it to me, okay? And now you guys are back on defense, back on D, and now you got to come get it, and now you guys are on the run and playing 3-on-3 in the full court. I stop it, I say pace, and then we have a new group running out, so then Abby would keep it, you guys would keep it, I just blew it, I said the pace is poor, you guys weren't running your lanes hard, so you'd throw it out to me. Abby, you'd come get it, you guys are off, new team's coming in, and we're playing, so that's really what it is. I guess I have, that's good, hey, that's really good. Hey, clap it up for the girls, that was really good. Let's go. That was sweet. Hey, that was good. Oh, I gotta hit all you guys. Okay. So I have like 5 minutes for questions. If there's any questions on the motion offense or some of the player development stuff, fire away. Absolutely. In terms of like, yeah, absolutely. So we could do that. Yeah. So we could say, if they're going to make, we're going to get into our press break. So we would say, ball goes in. You guys are really, they're going to be in pressure, so we need to get the spot. So we'd be, in a stack or whatever press break it is. We'd split, and we could do that at a 3-on-3. If say we're doing 4-on-4 cutthroat, like just because we tried to keep it really simple. With the kids I was coaching, we had a stack, and then we had a guy in the middle. If they can't get it, and they're really working hard to get it, we send this person through the middle, and then I catch it, and now these guys sprint off. So yeah, absolutely, we do that all the time, like special situations, as much as possible.